Today, we're making an easy enchilada casserole. It's cheesy, it's ooey, it's gooey, and just look at all them layers, honey. Hi guys, and welcome to my house. My name is Sage, for those of you who don't know me, and this is my channel, where I like to share with you things that I enjoy, like cooking and organizing, as well as a few things here and there about my rural mountain lifestyle. So, come on in and let's see what we can get up to today. So to start off, I'm cutting some cheese. No, I'm sorry, I'm joking. I couldn't help myself. I'm really actually grating some cheese. I'm using cheddar and a cheese called queso fresco today, but you can use pretty much whatever you want. Mozzarella, that Mexican blend, you can use like pepper jack is pretty good in here. Use whatever you want. Probably not something smoked, but you get my point. And obviously I'm using enough to prove that I'm not on any kind of diet. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? I'm also going to use some cream cheese. This one block will get me a 9x13 size casserole here. If you want to put more, believe me, it's good. This is just, like the cheapo version. But basically, I'm going to microwave it and I'm going to make it nice and soft and malleable because I'm going to spread it on some tortillas here. So I have my two pans here. I'm having two because I'm putting one in the freezer, but you can, make one big one. It don't matter. I'm going to spray the bottom because I don't want the casserole to actually stick to the bottom of the pans. And then I'm going to add my enchilada sauce. I'm using green because that's my preference, but you can use red. It's totally good in red, totally good with red. Then I'm going to add some sauce to the bottom of the pan. This is just an additional step to prevent, stickage, kind of like a lasagna. You know what I'm saying? Basically, we're making like, tortilla lasagna. So I'm grabbing my tortillas. You can use white, you can use yellow corn, it doesn't matter. But basically, a corn tortilla. I'm also going to use the taqueria size, but you can use whatever you want. I like this size for smaller pans because it's about the size of a hand. It's just easier to work with and easier to, layer in there. But if you don't have that size, by all means use big ones. You just have to cut them into pieces like I did for the last bit of this one because I didn't have enough of the little ones. But you get the point, right? Just layer them in there and just one layer at a time is basically how we're building it, kind of like a lasagna. And then I'm going to add my cheeses. Put as much cheese as you want, put as much sauce as you want. I prefer to put a little bit of less sauce because I don't like my casserole soggy. My next layer after my first cheese layers, I'm going to put a cream cheese layer. And so I'm just going to spread some cheese on top of my tortilla like so, get it even. If the more cheese you put in there, the more of that creamy bite, so, you don't have to be, shy if you don't want to or stingy if you don't want to. By all means, add some more in there and then add some more cheese on top of it. Then I'm going to add more sauce. I mean, you guys get the point, right? Just layer it up until the pan is full. My last layer, I'm going to make it a cream cheese layer, but I'm going to put the tortillas facing down, not facing up. And then I'm going to add more sauce. This is the final layer of sauce. And I'm going to be a little bit more generous on the top layer because I don't want the tortillas to burn when we put them in the oven or dry out when we put them in the oven. And then I'm going to put a cheese. I'm going to put a whole lot of cheese because I like cheese and you want it cheesy. And for my last step before I bake it is I'm going to take a little bit more sauce and fill in the little corners and crevices because I don't want any dried out, hard as a rock corners. I want it to stay moist, and that'll help it stay moist during the baking process while we're getting a good golden brown on the top with that cheese. You can also add some corn flakes to the top if you want an extra little bit of crunch. It's totally good. And then for the casserole that I'm going to be sticking in the freezer because, why make one when you could make two and save yourself time later? I'm going to be putting some tin foil on it and I'm going to press around the edges to get as much air out as possible because remember, air is what causes that, freezer burn stuff. And I'm just going to, smooth it over the sides after I get it all the way to the corner. And for me, it always works. It lasts a few months like that and I don't have to worry. And then, dinner some other night is totally easy. And you can put two if you're using thinner, cheapo, brand of tinfoil like I am. I think it just helps protect it a little bit more and I don't have to worry about freezer burn. And then I'm going to write on it. I'm going to tell myself what it is so I know what it is when it's frozen and I stick it in the freezer. It's if you're gonna make it so that somebody else is going to bake it, you know, if you're gonna give it to a friend or you're gonna have your husband bake it when you're working or your kids put it in the oven when you're before you're home, then I would write the instructions. Basically, you're gonna bake it at 400 degrees for like, I don't know, I want to say I baked mine for like 30 to 40 minutes once it was, you know, if it's thawed. Pull it out the night before, and then that'll give it a nice golden crust. I wouldn't put the cornflakes on it if you were going to do that until the night that you baked it. Otherwise, they're just soggy. Don't do that. I made that mistake. But you get my point, right? So basically, I don't need the instructions, but I just put what it is so I can tell what it is when I pull it out of the freezer next time. Then it totally helps with the dinner later on down the road. And then I put the one that I'm gonna freeze for later in my freezer so it can freeze. And then I'm gonna put it in my outside freezer once it's frozen so I can put it on its side like a filing system. You know, works great, saves space. And I baked the other one, like I said, 400 degrees, 40 minutes-ish, and had this nice golden top. And it's super delicious. It's like this ooey gooey rich flavor from the cream cheese. It really makes it. And I totally love it. But you can add anything to it. Chicken, beef, olives, you know, anything you want to. Just play with it as much as you want to. It's a totally dishes base recipe for a million different versions of this thing. I'm telling you, just try it. It's totally quick and easy. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, then hit that subscribe button. And feel free to share my video with all of your friends and family on social media and join me on mine. I would love to see you there. Well, thanks for stopping by my house. I'll see you next time.